Yo, 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 what is up? I'm Ron, No Crypto at No Crypto with No Border Sports, and we're back at you on a Saturday afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it. Some crazy stuff been going on last couple days, trade stuff, just not the talk we wanted. I'm just coming to see what's up with y'all, kind of spread some news. I know some of this stuff's been chewed out around the cycle. We do have some breaking news. In fact, so much that I was talking about an impending scoop, and it turned out to be true. We'll talk or get into that here in a little bit. Yeah, first up, let's talk about Nate Sudfeld. San Francisco 49ers signed Nate Sudfeld, supposedly a career backup quarterback. Sorry, I'm reading some from an article from Gabe Fernandez from the San Francisco Gate or SF Gate. Is a career backup uh, to a 1 year deal of $2 million. Supposedly, Adam Schefter reported that's cited a source who claimed that Sheffield has starter potential in this league. This anonymous this anonymous quote rightfully raised a few eyebrows. Yeah, let's go over here and let's share the screen here real quick. And let's look at some Nate Sudfeld's stats. Extremely unimpressive. Something to note. Pretty much. So he's only appeared in 4 regular season games. You only see, I think, 3 of them on here, all with the Eagles. He was drafted originally by the Redskins in 2016 in the 6th round. They cut him a year later. Then Philadelphia brought him into his first game, week 17 of 2017, a 6-0 loss to Dallas. I believe I remember that game and going, man, Dallas, you could only win by 6. The only opportunity worth any of appearance was week 17 of 2020. While as a member of the Eagles, it was a game with playoff intentions. With the Eagles down 17-14 in the fourth quarter, Doug Peterson made a baffling decision to sub in Sudfeld in place of rookie Jalen Hurts. Hurts wasn't playing well, but such a substitution was a huge head scratcher at the time. The Eagles would go on to lose with Sudfeld at the helm. He caused many fans to scream about Philadelphia intentionally tanking the game to spite the New York Jets. This is all to say one has to wonder what kind of source these Sudfeld, whose mere presence on the field made players think the team was throwing a game on purpose. The starter, as a starter-worthy quarterback. Yeah, I think this is Kyle Shanahan just getting a guy who can either throw the ball for the scout team, essentially, or he likes somebody to hold the clipboard who is more of an X's and goes guys, and he doesn't really care if they could actually play the game. He might be looking to draft somebody. I don't know who he's going to go out and get. That might potentially bring some controversy at some point in time with certain people in the fandom. 1 second, please. All right, moving on. Now, I'll move this out of here. Now, next we're going to talk about Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde got cut again. Let's check out them stats. Let's check out. Okay, here we go. Not very illustrious. He had a couple 900 yards seasons with the 49ers. He had one over 1,000 yards. What was it? 11. What was it? almost 1,100 with the Houston Texans. But the Jaguars released him. Um, yeah, on Friday, the 31-year-old running back spent one season in Jacksonville, earning 253 yards on 72 carries. That's horrid. With one TD in 12 games. That's horrible, Carlos. Um, this is the second time he's been in Jacksonville. This time was because it was a reuniting with Urban Meyer to kind of bring together the Ohio State days. You got to get it, get the feel back. Yeah, it didn't work because Urban Meyer's a douchebag. Um, let's see anything else. So that by Jacksonville releasing them saves 1.9 mil on the cap with only 450 mil in dead. Um, they've got a backfield they're confident in um, with James Robinson and Travis Etienne. So I don't think they need them. If anything, they're going to go back in the draft and find some young legs. My thoughts are: is this Carlos Hyde's last hurrah? Will he ever be anything more than a number 3 back in on a team, or is he like practice squad material at this point? Um, I don't know. To me, he shouldn't have talked trash about the 49ers after he left because I wouldn't be here right now trash talking his name. But since you want to be a little punk, I'm just gonna, I'm petty. I'm petty. I'm gonna be a little punk bitch. Just saying. Okay. Let's talk about something that I want to talk about. Something worthy. Let's move on from a career backup quarterback and a shit mistake running back of a draft pick who had one good play where he stopped on a dime, could never recreate it ever again in his life. Yeah. So now on to somebody who actually has talent, Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox, they were pretty close to trading away Fletcher Cox last season, and nothing came up about it. Let's see. But this year it's sparked up again because his numbers fell off again. Ian Rappaport tweeted the teams have continued to call the Eagles about a possible trade for the veteran defensive tackle. Cox, 31, played in 16 games but failed to make the Pro Bowl for the first time since 2014. He had 6 consecutive Pro Bowls and had been one of the best defending tackles in the league for a long stretch. Disappointing season, Cox, who had 3.5 sacks, 35 tackles, and 7 tackles for a loss. The Eagles are going to continue to listen to offers before trade deadline. So one of the things that was plaguing Cox this year is it seems like it fell off this year because of public airing of grievances over Jonathan Cannon's new defensive scheme. Seems like people didn't have some, good feelings about the defensive scheme, which is really tough. I remember just listening to Sapp, Warren Sapp, on the Rich Eisen show, and if you ever get a chance to just watch Warren Sapp anytime you can on any of his interviews, the man gives it to you straight. But he said that he was in Oakland, or he was with the Raiders. I can't remember where they were at that time. And he said that, oh yeah, they were in Oakland, I think. He said that he went to the coach. He says, this is bullshit. And the coach says, you just do what I tell you. So he starts getting all pissed. So one of the vets comes up to him and says, I see that look in your eye. I see that look in your eye. Before you do anything stupid, go up and talk to the owner. He's like, what? He's like, that's not how this shit works. He says, no, go up and talk to the owner. Go up and talk to the owner. So he goes up and talks to, one of the craziest owners in the league ever. And next thing you know, the next day they totally changed the scheme, and Warren said Sapp said he came in. What up, baller? Warren Sapp said he came in the next day, and they were the coach was all pissed off, and they had thrown out the playbook, and that they were doing the exact same scheme that Warren Sapp had pulled up, and the guy who told Warren Sapp to go talk to the boss, the owner, as the coach is ranting and raving over it, he says, "Was that you, big dog?" And Warren Sapp said, "Yep, that was me." And the coach got pissed. So sometimes you need to go to the management. You know what I mean? If the scheme's not working well, you shouldn't be doing it. I mean, if you know the talent, if you know what your talent is suited for, and everybody else's talent is suited for, why are you trying to do anything different? Different. It doesn't make any sense. Here, let's look at Fletcher Cox stats real quick. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some Fletcher Cox is in it. Oh, yeah, like that one. So, it seems like Fletcher Cox been a little. Oh no, no, no.
Your home.
No, 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 no. So it seems like Fletcher Cox got some feelings about this. Um, Pretty much, he says during the last process, he was a little brokenhearted about this. He says, "I'm happy to be here. I'm looking forward to going out playing at the link on Sunday. They wanted me here. Mr. Lawyer wanted me here. This organization wanted me here. I want to be here forever, Philly. I've been here for 10 years. I'm happy to be here." Yeah, but your profession isn't an Eagle. It is a football player, and I'm sorry. No matter what your dreams are, when your draft capital is about to go greatly down, and so is your athletic performance, people are going to try and get as much as they can for you. I feel this is a great chance for the 49ers to scoop in and get Fletcher Cox. And you're worried about DJ Jones. DJ Jones is young. His value is going up. Fletcher Cox value is going down at this moment, right? And you've got Coach Chris Kosaric, who can work wonders. You get him in here on a trade it, get him in, like, set up we'll give you this time and let you prove it. You can do whatever you want with him. Imagine unleashing that beast along with our defensive line as a 49ers fan. That would be crazy. So let's talk about his contract. Cox's contract, which has been restructured enough times to become one of the more confusing deals in the NFL because of all the kick the can restructures. If Cox were to be traded before June 1st, it would result in a massive dead cap numbers for the Eagles. So if a trade ever gets off the ground, it might require some help from Cox in the form of another restructure, or they could wait for the deal until after June 1st. If the Eagles have to swallow a good deal of money just to trade Cox, then their asking price for him might be higher. His cap number is just under 15 mil for this season. So if they can restructure him into something nice and we could turn around and get a trade pick, that would be devastating up front. I mean, this is just massive potential. You have some of them rookies in there, having Javon Kinlaw learn behind Fletcher Cox. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next topic. What we got going on here? Oh yeah. Man, sorry, excuse me. First time doing this. I got two things I'm doing now. Oh. Now we're Max Crosby. So Max Crosby, a very talented young man, gets a $98 million contract extension on his 2-year anniversary of being sober, which I gotta say is an amazing thing. This is his stats from this year. It wasn't very a remarkable year for him, Um, Not necessarily, but he was there when they needed it. It was very, let's see, very tough year for them. Everything was up and down. Um, 2 years to the day after Las Vegas Raiders All-Pro former Eastern Michigan standout decided to change his life for the better, the star defensive end got a $98 million contract extension. Crosby, 24, checked himself into a rehab facility for alcoholism on March 11th, 2020. And on March 11th, 2022, the 6'5", 255-pound Crosby became the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. On Friday, he posted a photo. Oh, no, no, no. That was a good song. That was a good song, but we can't have that. I don't know why they're doing this to me. Why, man? Why are they doing this to me? Hold on 1 second. I think I got an idea. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can't figure this out. Na 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 na. Yeah. Okay. So where was I? Yes. He posted a photo of a tattoo on his hand with a date of his sobriety on his Twitter account. So, that might be something. The reason why he has it on his hand so he can remember it. It's really tough being an addict. It's it's something like it's always a battle. Um, I know a guy who used to do some really bad stuff, and he had to move out of town and away, and he's now got his third child, and he's doing great. He does a construction job, and he works his ass off, and he does it to stay the hell away from everything and anything close to that because it's easier for him to say no if it's not even around or not even being brought up. You know what I mean? So, and good on him. It's every day is a battle. So Max, good job, man. I think you deserve every dollar. Um, you're you're a staple of that defense. You're definitely a captain. I don't understand why anybody would say that you getting paid wasn't a good thing. Have a good one, sir. And with that, let's move on to our next topic. And this guy, I'm sorry for anybody who likes him, but um, he is not. Oh, what are we doing here? Where's the where's my where's my fancy already pulled up tab? Oh, it's probably this next one over here. Forgot to delete the other one. It's like I forgot to delete the C. You got to get up better on your prep, Ryan. Got to get better on your prep. So let's go right here. And I was looking like his stats aren't necessarily. I don't know if they were ever worth that price tag. Um, so Matt Ryan's contract had to get negotiated again. They created 12 million salary cap space ahead of the start of the New Year League. Uh, Ryan has 2 years remaining on his contract and was scheduled to make 16.5 in base salary until it was owed 7.5 in roster by March 19th. He was scheduled to have the highest cap hit in NFL history at $48.662 million. That is insane. Like, hold on. I'm gonna talk conspiracies after that. I'm gonna get my tin hat on. Now we will have an even higher cap number in 2023 than the 43.61 million he originally was scheduled to have. But the Falcons can deal with that number next year. They need the cap room this year. Ryan, who is 37 in May, hasn't made the Pro Bowl since 2016. 2016, that's 6 years ago. And he has a passing rating of over 100 only once. Then he got 108.1 in 2018, and has played only 2 playoffs games, both in 2017. 2017. Sorry, excuse me. Let me take a drink real quick. So, Matt Ryan hasn't done anything. Like, look at what are we over here? What are we over here? What are we doing over here? Hold on. My bad. I had you looking at the stupid screen the whole time. Here we go. Bang, bang. Like, he's got yards. Yes. He's got yards. But those yards aren't equating to touchdowns most of the time. And his touchdowns to interception rating isn't necessarily so great. I mean, he's almost throwing, it's 1 to 2. These are Jimmy Garoppolo numbers. These are Jimmy Garoppolo numbers throughout a career. Except Matt Ryan has an arm who can take the top off of defense. But he's definitely not worth $48 million a year. The highest recorded ever. That's crazy. Why wouldn't you cut him? Is there like a no? Do they have to pay him if he's able to walk on the field? Like, I should have probably done some more research on this, but to me, like, it's almost worth hiring somebody to Nancy Kerrigan him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about somebody who's stifling your whole team. There should almost be somebody at like the NFL front office who can nix deals and say, no, you can't do that because you won't be able to pay this. You won't be able to do that. You can't do that because you're going to get stuck with a Matt Ryan at the end of his career making more money than any quarterback ever in their life. And not to say that he doesn't deserve it, because I'm sure he took friendly deals up front. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't begrudge him getting his money on the back end, but still at the same time, like, somebody needs to be smart about this, and paying this contract every year isn't smart. Cut him, let him go somewhere else, let him get the money he's worth, and actually them be happy to pay somebody. Because right now, it's who wants to trade for him? He's just cut him if you can. I don't get it. It's horrible. I think it's bad for business in the NFL to have contracts like this. Things where you too big to move on from. Or like Fletcher Cox, like, it's so scary somebody might have to try and renegotiate that to the point where they don't even know what makes sense anymore in the contract. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that sounds like, that somebody did some negotiation stuff that was too much, and now no one actually knows what they were doing. So, Amari Cooper got traded to the Browns for, what was it, a fifth and a sixth, and then the Cowboys give the Browns back a sixth. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. That's you don't see that every day. A very talented wide receiver just tossed over for a bag of balls. Seems like the Cowboys, from what I hear or from what I read, were negotiating to restructure. But at the moment they took a chance to get a fifth, they jumped. Like that's kind of concerning to me. Um, how to put this? Like deadlines, trade deadline's coming, right? But if you're working, unless somebody is just being totally, not listening to any kind of offers, then that's, I wouldn't call that trading in the first place. So if you're negotiating, then I don't think there's necessarily like a uh, you have to act now type of thing, unless there's something that they don't want anybody to know and just want to off them as soon as possible. So that's kind of concerning to me. We'll see what happens. I also think why uh why uh why trade for Amari Cooper when you can just go after and get a good quarterback and not have to worry about things like this? Like I'm pretty sure that oh, what's his name? Baker Mayfield is just garbage, and I think they need to move on. You need to find somebody, and I wouldn't be worried about the wide receivers just yet, because you need to make sure you got a quarterback, you got a young man who you can, mold. Hopefully, I'm guessing, because I don't see the Browns trading for anybody good. So you're gonna have to draft a quarterback. Make sure you got a good offensive line for them. And then once you get them, maybe you draft one of their wide receivers from their college. You know what I mean? Do something like that. Pair them with somebody. What they're doing nowadays, like the Christian, sorry, not Chris, what they're trying to do in 49ers with, oh, what's his name? Christian, whatever, and Trey Lance. And then you had Burrow and Jamar Chase and Tua and forgot his name. But yeah. So yeah, I was trying to drop news here, some rumors, and then it turned out to be true on me. That wasn't fun. Okay, let's go to Mike Williams. When I saw this today, the headline, I was like, "What? What?" They gave this guy like, I think they said I think it's top 4 paid money. Mike Williams of the San Diego Chargers got a 3-year, $600 million deal, which averages out to $20 million a year, which I believe they said puts him in the top 4, or something else I heard was saying there was in the top 4. I didn't check the stats yet on everybody's being paid. But he I couldn't get over it because I don't know much about him. I looked at his stats. It didn't seem impressive. When I read the article, it pretty much said that, yeah, the stats aren't impressive, but what they see out of him is that he's a big playmaker. So I was like, okay. Let's take a little deep dive in this gentleman. What I saw from this year's highlights was somebody who started off slow. It was like a first clip I watched was probably the best one to speak on. It's all his newer stuff. But for the first, it was like a 5.5 minute video. For the first half of the video, I think there was only five good plays or so that I really thought they were like good plays that he needed talent to accomplish. There was a couple of plays where he was thrown open, or not thrown open, but he was schemed open. One really great play where it was a touchdown. He went all the way. Like, I don't count that as, your talent, so you're good. That was when the cornerback bites on the inside route and leaves you totally open with the safeties trying to get as deep back as they can. I mean, it was awesome. But there was a couple of things, that I was like, okay, they're all right, but I don't see what the hype is. About halfway through the video, and I don't know if the video was taken throughout the season, but it seemed like that might have been the case. It seemed like he really turned it on in the end of the season. And it wasn't that he got numbers. It was the clutch clutch catches he was making when they needed him. And it seemed like not just him, but it was like it was Herbert. Herbert needs him. Herbert trusts him. He does great back shoulder catches. He's great with faking like it's coming over the top and at the last second leaning back and catching it that way, which is very handy. He he caught a great ball in double coverage, contested. He's got guts, and he seems like he's gritty. And now that he's been paid, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He seems like somebody who's trying to prove he's somebody, and the money might not change him to the fact where now he feels like he might have to prove it so much more because he got the paycheck. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even put up his stats. I have stats. Just put stats up there real quick. Just real quick. Just real quick. They're not really exciting. Yeah, he got 1,100 yards this year. His best year so far. He showed a little bit of light beforehand. I think it seems to me like he's really starting to come of age, and he might be able to do some Devontae Adams-like plays. And I think that's what they see in them. I see it in them, and I think that's why they paid him. And when you've got a young quarterback who is really confident in another young wide receiver who is giving you flashes of greatness, I think you have to make an attempt. And that's why it's a 3-year contract. You know what I mean? If he doesn't show up, they can always get rid of him, which I think is perfectly fine. You're also paying him what he and you feel like he should be paid, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's hard to argue when you feel, well, I forgot to read the comments. He didn't think he was worth that much. And so if you got somebody who now is like, oh, okay, you're serious. All right. Well, looks like I'm not drinking on the weeknights, and I'll be in bed early, and I'll be doing those extra credit questions for you. Let's see. Now, to the nut job. Antonio Brown wants to play for the Dallas Cowboys. He said on the Pivot podcast with which has Ryan Clark, who pivots so well, and I love the naming for that. I think it's very projective. So this is Antonio Brown's quote. Maybe Jerry Jones thinks it looks sexy that I'm putting out all this motivation and all this hard work and encouragement. Maybe he want to harness some of that energy. I don't know what hard work he's speaking of. Motivation. What motivation has he done? He signed up with Kanye to do some kind of sports wellness guru type fashion clothing, wellness, mental, like something or other. Like, sounds pretty crazy to me and not necessarily motivational. They did spend $2 million on the Super Bowl, though. Good for you guys. Yeah, I don't think Jerry Jones wants any part of this. I think Jerry Jones is old school, and the way Antonio Brown went out on the field and, in the middle of the game, in the middle of the play, as he did, I don't think Jerry Jones wants any part to be with him. It's disrespecting the game. And I think Antonio Brown is extremely stupid not to see that. I think he's too full of himself and can't see what's evident. He is getting in the way of his own success. Just take the medicine, Kanye. I mean, Antonio. Um, and as of that, I'm done talking about that guy. Now let's talk about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones allegedly has a love child that is suing to be able to tell people that she has a father named Jerry Jones who owns the Dallas Cowboys. Um, in 1996, in their last Super Bowl season, I guess she was conceived. He paid $375,000 at the settlement into the account to the mother, I believe, and that the daughter would get monthly, yearly, and special funding. So she would get monthly checks, yearly checks, and I guess on her birthday or something like that, and Christmas she would get other checks. And then that would happen until she was 21, and then yearly lumps at ages 24, 26, and 28. Seems like that's all applicable, he's taking care of his, child out of wedlock, which is fine and all, allegedly, but not wedlock. I don't know. I don't know if he's married, but it seems like he'd have to be if you're trying to cover it up, right? But I think she's just saying, like, hey, like, why am I entered in a contract? I am me. Why should anybody have the right to speak for me? Obviously as a kid, yes, but now that I'm adult, and why is the contract still binding of me? This isn't right. Like, what does it really matter? She's already disclosed once that her father was Jerry Jones. She had to for White House clearance. But other than that, like, I think this is just hilarious. Jerry paid all his money to make sure to never see the light of day, and there it is, Jerry. Right at the end, the golden years, right at the end of his time, as he's struggling to see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl before he dies. He's trying to hold on for that, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know. One thing I like about Jerry, he didn't make the city pay for the stadium. But other than that, like, I don't know, Jerry, you need to get out of the way of your own team's success. I know you think you're a whip, but you ran the most successful coach you ever had out of town. That doesn't seem so smart. Over what? Personal stuff? Yeah. Nah. That's not a good businessman. Sometimes, even if you don't like somebody, if they're a winner, just gotta shut up and let them make you money. But I guess this poor person don't know. Well, with that, I think we are out of here. I want to thank Baller for showing up and saying what's up. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening and enjoy. And hopefully Deshaun Watson gets moved soon, so we get all that news that we've been waiting for. Peace out.